Okay, last speech, one adult, and here are, believe it or not, 4 more adults, and the brown dog, can't forget the brown dog, she's in every speech. Okay. Hi everybody.
Hi.
The reason we're here is so that I can tell you about recycling, and I hope to persuade you all to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Recycling is something that's really important. I mean, we all produce garbage, but if we think about it, we can reduce the amount of garbage that we produce, we can reuse things, we can recycle. It's actually not that hard to do. When I was in my teens, recycling started on Long Island. They gave us little buckets and put them out at the curb, and it was a big deal. I graduated high school in '85. In '87, there was a big thing on the news. Everybody outside of New York was joking about the garbage barge. We had a garbage barge leave Long Island, leave Islip, Long Island, 10 minutes from my hometown, and head down the East Coast and eventually end up in the Gulf of Mexico trying to find a place to put our garbage. Now, the reason that was so significant to me, and here's some Virginia people nodding, that they remember it.
I remember that.
That was my garbage. That's 10 minutes from my house, that landfill. That was my garbage. My actual garbage. And the impact that that had on me was really significant. My parents had raised us to think about the land, to be good to the land, to be organic. You know, long before it was hip or long before anybody even knew what organic gardening was, they were doing it. And reducing our garbage and not throwing things away, not being wasteful was important. And when this all happened, it really sank that stuff home. And it made me decide what kind of an adult I wanted to be. I wanted to be an adult who recycled. Now, over the years, I've noticed that the demographic mix of recycling people is really amazing. It doesn't matter how young you are or how old. Some people do, some people don't. There's a woman I work with. She's educated, very Christian woman, 3 grown kids. I caught her throwing away her plastic soda bottle. And I said, "Are you really going to throw that in the garbage?" And she said, "Yes, why?" And I said, "Well, why don't you give it to me? I'll take it home and recycle it." And she's letting me do that. It did not make her feel guilty enough to say, "No, I'll take it home and I'll do it." I'm also grateful she didn't lie to me and say she'd take it home and do it, because obviously she's just not going to do it. And so she's giving me her stuff to recycle. I spend all day going through my office, seeing stuff in the garbage, and it just makes me crazy. So you just don't know. Some people do, some people don't. In my neighborhood, we get the city gives us big garbage pails, and there's people on my block who have 2. You can request an extra if you need it. And I applaud that. Those are people who have families. They're producing so much more. You know, me and my husband, we just need the 1. Sometimes we have a party. Okay, we need 2. There's a lot of beer cans. But for the most part, you know, we're lucky. We just throw everything in 1. So that's the question that comes up. What can you really recycle? Well, nowadays, you can recycle almost everything. Every bit of paper you have, with the exception of don't shred, you know, don't recycle credit card offers, or even some junk mail. You really want to shred that first, and then either burn it or put it in your garbage or recycle the shred. You can recycle all the glass in your house. You can recycle cans, metal of almost all kinds. Really big metal, like a tire rim, you know, the city will take the tire. But long before the city will come and get that tire and that rim, somebody's going to come by my house at least, and they're going to pick up that rim for scrap metal. Stuff's pretty valuable right now. So pretty much any kind of metal that you have, that's all recyclable. Also, plastic. Most plastic is recyclable. It's not just, you know, it's not all containers. There's a little triangle on the bottom of all your plastic containers with a number. You can check with your city and see what numbers they collect. Very few cities collect number 5, but you never know. You just want to check it out. I know it changes in certain areas from time to time. And if you live in an area where you need to bring your stuff to be recycled, go to a center. I had to do that in Western New York. It's really not that big a deal. I gathered everything up together. I got it in the car. I brought a book, and I prepared to wait in line. You didn't always have to, but it's not that big a deal, and it makes you feel good. And then that comes to the area of what are the benefits of recycling. Well, this I'm going to read to you. This is from the EPA.gov website, and it says that recycling protects and expands U.S. manufacturing jobs and increases U.S. competitiveness. It reduces the need for landfilling and incineration. reduces pollution caused by the manufacturing of products from virgin materials. Recycling saves energy. It decreases emissions of greenhouse gases that contribute to global climate change. It conserves natural resources such as timber, water, and minerals, and it helps sustain the environment for future generations. That's all good stuff. And the rewards that you can actually feel, other than, you get a warm, fuzzy feeling, I think, when you recycle. I know I do. Well, here's another thing. Here's a blanket. Talk about it's a warm, fuzzy blanket. This blanket is made 100% from recycled plastic soda bottles. It's made by some monks in Tibet and the Buddhist monks, and it's wonderful. It may not be the most gorgeous color that you like, but in between two sheets that are maybe designer, you've got yourself a duvet and you've got yourself a really warm blanket. And look at all the soda bottles that are not in the landfill. And this is wonderful. Then other things that are happening. You've got some companies are going towards a lot less packaging, because of recycling. This new laptop that I got and a cooling pad, this is all that came with the cooling pad. Very little packaging, just some cardboard that gets recycled. And my new laptop, thank you Toshiba, a cardboard box, a simple, plain cardboard box made from recycled materials. It says so inside. Another thing, and when you go inside here, you've got very little packaging on the inside. We've got a little bit of plastic, a little bit of styrofoam, not much. The case, the actual sleeve that the laptop came in, this nice white sleeve, got the recycling symbol, O1 PET. This too is made like that blanket. This is made from recycled materials.
That's cool.
And it's really fantastic. There's not even a plastic handle to hold this box. It's just a cardboard box for a laptop. You're never going to use it again. I only saved it, I wait a couple months after I buy a major electronic purchase. Another thing that can be recycled that some people don't think about actually is asphalt. Right now when they take up an old road, they can mill the road, take up that asphalt, bring it back to a plant, and remake it into new asphalt, new blacktop. It's really very simple. It's amazing the things that you can do if you're thinking about it. So, in conclusion, I'm really surprised about how many people, again, aren't recycling. Recycling for a while took off, and then it kind of went downhill. A lot of people just don't think it's important enough. They don't hear about it enough. But the truth is it's more important than ever. There's less and less room for garbage, and there's more need for this. And there's more companies getting on board with, trying to take the initiative. And that's so wonderful to see. And now we need regular people every day in their homes to decide that the cardboard box that their cereal came in can be recycled. You don't have to throw that in the garbage. It's not just newspaper. It's not just glass or plastic. It's a lot of things, and if you think about it and you ask your town what they do, then you can become part of the solution and not part of the problem. And that's all I have to say.
I think that was great.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I'm going to